What's up, everybody? Welcome in. It's me, Johnny. Over here, we've got Farmer.
How's it going?
And DiJaDi.
Howdy.
And we are recording. If we sound different, Craig is a no good, no call, no show. Not only is Craig a no good, no call, no show, but also his evil clone, Giark, is a no call, no show. So because we're professionals, we've been, doing this podcast for a while now. We did not test it at all before we were going to get started because Craig usually is good to go. So we are recording in Zoom.
Yeah, why would you test something that that works?
I know.
Or
know.
Doesn't. I mean, you just gotta. Craig, he's on vacation. He's the worst.
Apparently, now we can no longer say that Craig's been on more episodes than Farmer, by the way. Unless Farm misses another episode and Craig comes back next week.
That's actually my biggest complaint about this whole thing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
me too.
You know what? I'll just leave right now.
This might be, depending on the way that this records, this could be our first video episode.
Oh, gosh.
But yeah, so if we sound different, we're in Zoom. And let me tell you what, I have not loaded up Zoom since like the pandemic days. And I loaded up and I have like a spaceship virtual background going on since the last time I used this, apparently.
I like how we can't see your mic right now. I like how we can't see your mic, but there it is.
Yeah, it green screens my mic so I can just kind of talk. This is actually pretty cool. Why don't we use Zoom more? And also we have like a 40-minute time limit. Hard ending.
I think that's why we don't use it.
Yeah, because
we've hardcore gone to what, an hour plus,
Yeah,
sure.
Multiple times. But now I see here that it says recording. I'm recording. That's what that means, I think. Interesting. But what's up, guys? How are you? How's your week? For the first time in 3 weeks for me, I can see clearly in my left eye. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
All right, cue the music. Oh, wait, we don't have copyrights for that. No, don't. Been a busy week. Busy week.
How about you, D?
Oh, it's been a week.
Yesterday I didn't stream. I had to pick up my mother-in-law, and it's my son's birthday party. Yesterday was my son's 11th birthday. So after this, I'm going to run home. We have a Smash themed party. So they're playing Super Smash Brothers, and we have a bunch of food, and my wife bought like a pretty expensive, like, I don't know, prop of Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, like, and it's big and heavy, and we're going to like smash fruit and stuff with it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
Is his birthday actually tomorrow?
Well, it's the 13th for you guys, so it's today for you. It was yesterday for us.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, so I was busy today, man. So I got some new shoes, and I made a rookie mistake of going on a long walk in some like brand new shoes, and my ankle hurts.
Yep. Rookie mistake.
Rookie mistake of getting new shoes and being like, yeah, let's go for a walk. They're so comfortable. I'm in pain. I'm in pain.
I guess I didn't realize, like, Johnny, you and I's birthday is like really close, but then I forgot that little Johnny and my second oldest Abel is like 7 days apart. His is on the 20th.
Oh, that's so weird close. Because our birthdays are also 7 days apart. Exactly.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
What?
Yeah, that's weird. So for us, February is like the month of Anav birthdays because it was like my birthday and then 7 days was your birthday and then 7 days was Carly's birthday. And Tuna's birthday is like the day before mine, I think.
His is on the 1st, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's a good time to be born. February is I would say February is the best month to be born. I know I'm biased, but there's nothing else. I'm
biased myself.
Nothing else going on that month. So it's a great month to be born.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
So there's kind of funny story for me, like at least for the first 10 years of my life. Like it was like, I don't know what you might say, but every February it was like this constant thing. Like if it was my birthday, I was sick. And it was like for like, I don't know, it seemed like 5 years running. And so it's like this unspoken thing that happened. Oh, every year I'm like, am I going to get sick? I've been good for the last 5 or so years, but every once in a while I think about it like, oh man, I still can't shake this.
That sounds stressful. But maybe it's just the winter, because I feel like there was a stretch where I also was usually sick in February.
Yeah, it might be. You're coming right out of winter, after January, things around here are starting to kind of go back and forth, and yeah, it could be the flu season, all
But
all that stuff.
for the first time in like 3 weeks, am like starting to feel like a human being again. And so that is wonderful. I've put in more eye drops in the last 3 weeks than I have in my entire life. More, if you just separate those 3 weeks by a lot, I've put them in. It's just wild. Anyway, what is up, guys? Any news? Anything you want to chat about this week? I have one thing I would like to talk about, but I wonder if you guys would like to go first.
I'm pretty sure David had something he was wanting to talk about tonight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead, David.
Yeah,
I don't think I do.
Whoa. I think you do. I remember yesterday you were saying something.
For those following along in my journey on the podcast, I have taken threads off my home screen on my phone because I can't take it. I can't take, I know that I can have ridiculous takes on things, right? But having a ridiculous take on like Star Wars is not the same thing as just being ignorant. And I just can't handle like the ignorance, and it's just too much. I just can't take it. I can't take people. There's no way I could have worked in any kind of customer service. Like, I'm so mad. I got so angry yesterday. I texted DiJaDi. He's just laughing. Like, I immediately texted DiJaDi.
That's what it takes.
Like, just because I knew that he would understand, and I would just be like, look at this thing I saw on Threads, and like, I just can't take it. I can't take it. And so it's off the home screen again. I know it was gone for a couple of weeks, and then I brought it back, and I was like, no, it's fine. I'm able to handle it now. That lasted like a few days, and it's gone again. I just can't.
Well, I remember you telling me, oh, I reinstalled Threads. I'm just like rolling my eyes like, oh, how long this is going to take? Not long, apparently.
I imagine I wouldn't be able to handle Twitter at all.
No, you would
I've
not.
just heard Twitter's bad.
Absolutely not.
Not with the way you use it. No, that's for sure.
Well, I don't even use it. Everything I'm seeing, I'm just seeing the scum of humanity. It's just the worst. It's the worst.
You must have some interesting algorithm.
Let me tell you. I'm going to get into this. I'm going to get into this on the podcast because people like it, right? And so,
oh yeah,
I saw this.
No, let's not.
I saw this post. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I saw this post.
That's okay.
About someone was posting about like the subway system in New York, and what they were saying is just that fare evasion, like not paying to get on the train, seems. David's like shaking his head. Has anyone noticed that fare evasion seems a lot more normal now than it did pre-pandemic? And just the person gave a handful of anecdotal examples of just pretty egregious, train like fare evasion of people just jumping over or going through whatever or doing something and just getting on the train. Mm-hmm. And the person was just making an observation and saying it just seems a lot more normal now than it did 5 years ago. And they also made a statement that like there are apparently some very highly viewed like TikToks and stuff showing people doing this, and they're like, is it because of this? Cue the comment section where people every post is defending these people who are doing this, to the point that even one of them said that they were doing the morally right thing. That actually It's morally right to not pay to use the subway because public transportation should be free anyway. To which it's just like, okay, listen, I live in Japan. There's a fantastic public transportation system here that you can take everywhere in the country, right? It's expensive, first off. Way more expensive than anything I experienced living in Chicago, which also has a public transportation system. 2, Japan, while they do have people who like evade, paying, it's not very high at all. Because in like a communal society, right? This is something that benefits all of us. And so we all pay into it. This is how socialized healthcare works. We all pay into it because even though, whether or not how much I use it, it helps us, all of us, right? And so how many of these people are like, we need to have this, we need to have more access to public transportation and have da 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 da. And like, why don't we have this like other countries? This is why we don't have it like other countries, because y'all are also in here being like, stealing is okay. Just, don't pay, because who cares? It should be free anyway. It's not free here. It's expensive. People pay it because, that's, hey, literally, this is why we don't have nice things.
Yeah, and that's what they're not realizing is like, that money has to come from somewhere. And to upkeep anything like that, there has to be some kind of cash flow. I mean, it doesn't come out of nothing. I mean, unless you want to print it.
Anyway, that take was bad enough that I took it off my phone. I was just like, I can't handle ignorant people who think that they're like really educated and they're really wise and smart. Like, I just can't take it. It's just like, listen, dude, freaking grow up.
That's even me on Twitter.
Oh my gosh. Like, anyway.
Pay the fare. No.
Yeah, just pay.
It's like pay the fare.
Yeah, it's like $3. It's $3. Just pay it or stay home. It's just well, Johnny, what about
in a car? Which, unfortunately, like that's what America's kind of built around, is the idea of like owning a personal vehicle,
right? And you know what? That's why there's not the infrastructure. And as long as people have that attitude, there will not be public infrastructure to support people like that. Because who would make that investment? Who's going to make that investment if like they're not expecting to get their money back? It's just wild. It's so crazy, man. One of the things I said, I went back to TwitchCon. I went back to America for TwitchCon, in 2022? Was it, D?
Yes.
One of the things I kept saying that everyone there was mad at me for saying is I kept saying, there are no laws in America. That just seems more and more true. D. Everyone's like, Johnny, that's not true. There are laws here. I would just like do something, be like, there are no laws in this country.
There are definitely laws here.
Apparently not. Yeah. Apparently
you
not.
just breaking the right ones, Johnny.
Pretty soon, isn't it? Talking about breaking laws. Has everyone filed their taxes?
Yes. Oh yeah, I file them as soon as possible.
Good. Good.
Yeah,
if you're listening, it's too late.
Yeah.
If you're listening and you haven't filed, it's too late. You've broken the law. Anyway.
Yeah, I thought that this would be the year where my tax return was like all fun money that I would like get to blow on whatever or save up or whatever. And that was not the case. So maybe next year. Tomorrow.
I've never been one to like wait till like April to get it done. I've been like, it's usually like beginning of February if I can. As soon as I get my W-2, I'm good.
Well, see, that's nice. So for me, I get like 5 or 4 1099s. So I have to wait at least until March because they keep coming through until like mid-February. And I want to make sure I catch them all. So that's a big bummer. Yeah. But also, I never owe money. So technically the deadline doesn't apply if you don't owe. Is this a tax? Is this a financial podcast?
Don't forget too, now the 1099 threshold came down from like something like, oh gosh, I forget what it was, but now it's $600, which is way lower, significantly lower than it was.
Yeah.
They're trying to tax everybody, even the Twitchers.
Yeah, they're trying to get you.
I did my normal one for work, and I end up having to file a little bit for Twitch for just being whatever I did last year, which wasn't as much as previous years, but still it was enough to like, oh, you got to file this. And it was like, when it came down to it, it was just a bunch of work for not much of any change,
Right.
Like it just had to be done because they wanted it done. But in the grand scheme of things, it didn't change anything for me.
This is where I'm lazy. I have a guy that I pay to do it.
I just use TurboTax. It's been so easy for me. I just pop it in there.
And a good general rule of thumb, probably, according to like some financial stuff I've watched lately, has been like to put aside a third, in terms of like your self-earned income. and then then you're covered, and then some with a little bit of extra leeway.
So this is financial advice.
No, it's not. It's not
This-
financial
this
advice. We're not certified.
Financial advice.
We also want to dig into becoming debt free on this podcast.
This is no, absolutely not. No, I object to that.
I am debt free. And let me tell you guys something. It's great.
How does it feel?
Wait, what? How is Pyro hearing what we're talking about? Are you guys all still in Discord and you're just doubling your audio? What? How is you haven't hold on, I'll come back. I'm so freaked out.
Did you leave? I was wondering why.
I left Discord. I was like, how is she texting me these? How is she hearing our conversation right now? We're in a closed Zoom meeting.
We just stayed in, and I just I can handle it. I'm fine.
Oh my God. I don't know that I can handle it. This is awful. This is what you guys have been dealing with?
Well, you can mute everybody else too.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
you can
Hold
mute
on.
everybody here. Will it still capture though?
I'm muting you guys in
If
Discord.
you mute them in Discord, it should be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, if you mute yourself in
'Cause
Discord.
There we
go.
There we go. Oh my gosh.
No, don't mute yourself in Discord. Mute everyone else.
Yeah, that's what
That was the most eerie message I've ever received, to be having a private conversation about taxes. And then I just see a message being like, I use TurboTax from Pyro. I'm like, how does she know? What is happening right now? Oh my God. Okay. I'm fine. The other thing I wanted to talk about was that there is an Avatar: The Last Airbender event happening in Fortnite right now. And I spent the most money I have ever spent. I did like the $90 deal because I bought it not just for me, but also for my son. Because Avatar is so big in our house.
You doubled up.
I doubled up, and I spent more money in a single go on Fortnite than I've ever done.
You could have bought a game and a half with that, but instead you just gave it to Fortnite.
I bought Zuko, Toph, and Katara and Aang twice. And there is one thing that is kind of a bummer. There's no Sokka. Sokka's not
weird,
a part of the event.
Yeah.
I think it'll be later, right? Sokka?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so at all?
Maybe, but like they gave Katara his club and his sword is in like the little mini event, but he's not there so far. And this is why I can explain why I don't think he's coming, because Johnny was shocked that he's not there too. And I was like, well, if you think about it, they've added bending to Fortnite. All of the bending is in Fortnite: air bending, fire bending, earth bending, and water bending now. Sokka's not a bender. They have one character for each bending, right? They have Aang for air bending, Katara for water bending, Zuko for fire bending, and Toph for earth bending. Maybe if he doesn't come, I think that would make sense.
But Sokka's actually a really good representation of non-benders in terms of that.
He makes the most sense with like a gun.
So I did see that update the other day, and I'm pretty interested. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm pretty interested to see how it all plays now. I've only done the water bending now at this point, but it looks pretty interesting. What does the event entail, Johnny?
Well, there's all of it's like the Ninja Turtles thing where like just playing, you can unlock through the little pass. And if you pay extra, you get, the double skin of Aang and Avatar Aang. But then to unlock, they have an Appa glider, which I wonder if you ride in it. Because I know like the dragon glider from Dragon Ball, they ride like on it, right? Maybe that one you'll do. To do that one, they have like quest lines that they're releasing. So right now it's just water, and then the earth one's going to come out in a few days. And they have a quest line of stuff that you have to do, and then you'll be able to unlock the Appa glider as well. But I haven't actually had a chance to try it. Yesterday I was super busy, and then I had to go pick up my mother-in-law at the airport. I was gone all afternoon. But little Jay had time, and he was playing quite a bit. He already did one of the quest lines, like the water bending quest line. He finished. So this morning he was like, I'm sad because I have to wait a few days for the next quest line. And I was like, bro, you need to be patient. Like I don't know what to tell you. It's just a few
Johnny.
days. It's not
Oh,
that bad.
Johnny, but don't you remember those days?
Yeah, don't I remember those days, but let me tell you what broke me. I'm gonna say 3 words. Kingdom Hearts 3.
No, no. Waiting what?
14 years.
14 years.
14 years I waited. You know, like
I feel bad for you because I waited 13 years for Alan Wake 2, and it was just great.
And it was great, right?
Hey.
It was amazing.
Question for you, Johnny. How long has it been since Legend of Korra?
Oh, a long time. I've watched it here. But also like I was already living in Japan. But also like season 4 had like this weird airing problem where like they did like the last part of it on online, I believe, or something like that. But season 4 finished airing December 19th, 2014. So it's been 10 years almost.
Okay. Because I was curious how
Korra.
you feel about the Avatar Last Airbender movie coming up on Paramount.
Oh, I mean, I just hope that like they don't just keep it on Paramount Plus. I'm excited to watch it. We have talked a lot about fandoms and stuff, and I have complained about the Avatar fandom, but also there's a degree, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, because like, so growing up, I really liked Star Wars, but I had other friends who really liked Star Wars. David is one of them, right?
Right.
But when Avatar: The Last Airbender was on TV like 20 years ago, when I was really into it, I didn't really know anyone else who was really into it. Like people liked it, but I was actually even on the phone with a friend of mine from back in the day, like back, pre-high school. And he was just talking to me about how he really loves the show now. And he remembers, we would watch it when we were younger, but he didn't really love it then. And he really loves it now. And so it's kind of really awesome to see it be so popular and see people really love it. So I'm excited. I mean, they're even talking about like the Earth Avatar after Korra, doing a show for that, which would be freaking. What I want to see is I would love to see them take it. I hope on one hand, I hope they don't, because it's hard to see a future past that. Then it would only be 3. But I would love to see almost like a future era, right? Because we had like the past era, we had like the 1920s era. It would be really cool to see like a space era Avatar
era, or
show,
like almost like a cyber,
like
sci-fi a little bit.
Airbenders, and then you're like, what do you mean airbenders in space?
Airbenders in space.
Airbenders in a spaceship, though, right? Where it's like a contained spaceship, or like metal benders attacking another spaceship. Yeah, like it could be really cool.
Starbender.
It could be really cool. So I would love to see something like that. But I have no idea how they would do that, and I have no idea. It would be adding a pretty hard ceiling, especially if it's like the next Avatar after Korra, or even that way. So who knows? Who knows? I kind of doubt they'll go that way personally, but it would be cool.
You kind of hit on the vein of Star Wars a little bit, and I don't know if we talked about it here, but what are you guys thinking about the Star Wars Outlaws that's coming out, the open world game by Ubisoft?
I still haven't watched this. Wait, no, I did see the story trailer. It looks good. I think that the controversy over like what the main character looks like is stupid.
Is there a controversy over it?
I hate that.
Dude, I'm just
my
tired
gosh,
of,
yes.
Come on, people.
Oh, I see here. They say she's ugly.
Yeah. This whole idealization of everything needs to be your perfect ideal of what someone should be or whatever is just the dumbest thing when it comes down to it. I hate that discourse so much.
Right. It's putting everybody into a cookie cutter form, and then there's no there's not as much diversity. Honestly, everybody wants in media, everybody to look like this sort of thing. It's like, come on. And if you haven't played the game, I don't know how many times we're going to beat this dead horse, but come on. If you haven't played the game, stop killing it. Stop tweeting about it. Stop writing about it. Stop being toxic about it. I mean, geez, I'm tired of it.
But also, not everything needs to be geared towards your ideals. And guess what? That makes us all better for it when it comes down to it. Like, diversity is actually a good thing.
Yes. And just because you might not enjoy the game, let other people enjoy it,
Yeah,
now I'm like, is it coming to Steam though? Because I want to play it on my Steam Deck.
I think it's coming on everything. Yes, it's
But if it's
multi-platform.
not, but if it's not on Steam, it'll be a hassle.
It's a Ubisoft game, so it should be on Steam. I think they don't.
Does-
Well, they have that Ubi Play thing, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Usually they've been pretty good about pushing it to just about at least Steam, but all other platforms on the PC, not just exclusively to their platform.
I haven't seen the trailer for it, but just hearing the premise of it, it sounds cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's exactly what I was going to say. Was like, I mean, it sounds awesome. Like you're in a heist or whatever. Like you're a scoundrel. You're an outlaw. You're not connected to like the main storyline. I mean,
Yeah,
it
all
seems like
that
there's a
sounds
lot
really
of
nice.
potential there. Yeah.
And the fact of it being a little bit more open world game where you can kind of explore more universes kind of fits the Star Wars bill, if you ask me. Like, I want to be able to do that, kind of like SWTOR a little bit, where we're like jumping in between planets and experiencing all these different things. And yeah, I'm totally for that.
Yeah.
They need to make a skin for the escapists where it's the Star Wars prison with the bad
Oh my
floor
gosh. Yes.
from Andor.
Yes, that would be
I
fantastic.
just thought about that thinking about outlaws. Like, wouldn't it be funny to go to jail in Star Wars? But if they had like an escapist prison that was based on what was that prison
Oh,
called?
that would be good.
Oh, that was so
was-
good. I recently watched Andy Serkis's character's speech, just like the speech part of that for Breaking Out. Chills. So good. But yeah, I'm excited. Does that come out this year?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to come up third quarter or something like that.
August 30th is technically, I think actually September like 2nd, but it also has that 3-day early thing if you get the Ultimate Edition, which that does not make sense to me for a single player game, but whatever. Like I actually hate that you pay like 30 extra bucks or whatever to get it 3 days early.
Well, I mean, they just are trying to squeeze as much as they can, right?
Right.
Is anybody else getting a little anxious with this timer up on the top?
Oh, do you
now?
guys see the timer too? I was like, so since we're using Zoom and I'm not paying for Zoom, so let me say, so when we were during the COVID days, I actually paid for a professional Zoom thing because specifically to not have a timer on my meetings, and I was doing a lot of Zoom meetings at that time, and I was dumb because they're like, oh man, pay for a year and you save a significant amount of money if you pay for a year. And I paid monthly because I was like, we're not going to be doing this next month. We're not going to be doing this next month. And I paid for a year. And then they were like, do you want to do it for another year? And I was like, we're not going to do this next year. And I paid for 2 years without any discount. And I will not pay again. I will not pay again.
That was
like,
me.
hey, look at this sucker.
Yeah,
that was me.
We're just making money on him.
That was me in Canva. Like, I mean, like just constantly like paying like monthly fees and paying way too
They're like,
much.
you can
instead of just
save
paying
40%.
annual. And
You can save 40% paying an annual. And I'm like, nah, we're not going to keep doing this.
The caption is like, you could save, but we know you won't.
we
know you won't.
I like that they popped the timer up on the screen and that that it doesn't just end.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be a
Just
really
cuts
funny
off.
ending to the episode, though. It just cuts off. And then I'll fade in the song.
Next week, we'll just like fade in as we just continue the sentence. Like, we'll just
Hopefully.
like, oh, it's a two-parter.
Oh, we should keep an eye on Craig. Hopefully he comes back next week. If not, this is a really good way to make sure that our episodes are only 40 minutes long.
That's true. That's true. Only 40-minute episodes from on out.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. What were you talking
stitch
about
multiple
before?
together, technically.
What were we?
Yeah, can we do back-to-back meetings?
Yeah. What were we talking about before this time popped up? Because I was also just watching it.
No idea. Star Wars
Outlaws.
Yeah. Oh, Star Wars Outlaws. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because on my Steam Deck now, I've been playing Elite Dangerous and so good. But let me tell you, I feel bad because I've not been playing God of War, which is like a cool game and a story I've been wanting to get into, and it's just like I'm just playing Helldivers and Elite Dangerous.
I need to play more Elite Dangerous. I finally have it downloaded. I haven't dived in yet, though.
Oh, D. Yeah. Let me send you my my private server.
See, that's
Absolutely,
the thing. Yeah. I was talking to my brother last night about like multi player games. I love playing with my friends, and don't get me wrong, but the whole this whole change and shift of this generation of games, you just I gravitate back to the multiplayer games that I've been playing, and it's the same loop, but I love the loop, and I end up missing all these other single player games that are coming out.
I don't even necessarily know that it's just multiplayer games, because this is actually on my topic list, because I was looking earlier, because I wanted to talk about Starfield a little bit, but I'll save that for next time. I did notice that I had like 360 something hours in Starfield, right? I also noticed that I have like 390 hours in Helldivers too, right? And some of that is idle time, sure. But also, like, I feel like I'm playing way fewer games, but playing them for way, way longer. And how do you guys feel about that? Because like Baldur's Gate 3, same thing, right? There's a lot of games that I'm playing that I'm like not even necessarily playing. Like, that was all me last year, right? Tectonica, Halo Infinite Forging, like Starfield. Like, I mean, like, literally, I just played these games for hours and hours and hours instead of like doing the normal game jumping like 20 hours a game or whatever.
I think in a sense it's it's putting us in these games which we can just again enjoy for a long period of time, which is really great if you're really loving that loop, or if you love that franchise, you're just able to delve in deep. And again, you just need 15 games these days, or even less than that, really. But like, you just need those main core ones. But again, the only problem with that is that you do end up missing some of the newer stuff that's coming out either last year or 10 years ago that you're still trying to get your backlog on done.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm every week I'm like, man, I need to play this game. Oh, I'll put that on my wish list. Oh, I'll never get to that game, but I want to.
But now the crazy thing is, the negative of this is that it feels like before, like, I wouldn't necessarily like play a 6-hour game, right? Because like I'd be diving into like 40-hour games. Now it's like I won't play a 40-hour game because I'm diving into games that like take me like hundreds of hours to play through. And I mean, I don't mind that. I really enjoy these. Like, they're not even always games as a service. Sometimes they're just like so big that they just like take a lot of time. I mean, I don't mind that, but it's also like means that I play less games, and I kind of don't like that aspect of it.
I could see that for you being the game jumper, that you're not jumping around as much.
Well, I was gonna say, for me, my least favorite part of gaming is learning new game mechanics. Right?
Sure. Yeah. No,
the
I agree with that.
whole first part of the game where where you really don't know, right? Like, it's like, no, I need to pay attention. I need to learn how this game works. That's my least favorite part of a game. Because once you know it, then to me, like, I don't know, it's easier to relax and just play the game. And I'm not just like Googling stuff and asking too many questions. So I also tend to gravitate toward games that I'm familiar with, even if they're pretty complex, because it's like, well, I already understand how this works. I don't have to put in a lot of new thought power into learning it. Right. Really quick, because we only have a few minutes here. I see on Steam, there's like an 80% sale on Fallout.
Right. Yeah.
Fallout games.
Yeah.
I have not yet watched episode 1, but I am excited about it, and I'm going to download it to watch it pretty soon. You haven't watched it yet, D?
I have watched episode 1. I'm really looking forward to you doing.
I heard
so that we can talk about it.
I've heard it's been received positively, that people like it. It has a pretty positive rating.
To the point where Fallout 76 is undergoing a resurgence.
So
which is kind of wild. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a good time to be playing those games, though. I mean, you got the show, but then all this whole sell. I mean, now's the time. Now's the time. It's awesome. It just kind of like avatars, making this resurgence. Also, Fallout's kind of like doing that. There's a lot of really cool stuff going on in the game industry. Plus, all these sales that are going on pretty much all the platforms right now. You got PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, Epic Store, you name it.
I would love to play it, but it's a Bethesda game, and I'm done. I'm done with Bethesda. But that's about it, you guys. Sorry to cut it so short, but that's what happens when Craig doesn't show up to work. We have to cut it short. So make sure to give us a positive rating.
We've limited staffing.
Yeah, sorry. Budget cuts have led to, please excuse our dust. And make sure to leave us a positive rating. Maybe leave a comment.